This might be out. Taken comfortably. That's a good catch in the deep. 1 run needed. This might run away to the boundary.
Hello everyone, welcome to Straight Bat with Devesh. Today is a very special day for me and my team in TAC TV because since I started this program like last year, I have been requesting different cricket administrator to come to my program and tell their side of a story, but I never got any success. But today I am very proud to say that after more than 20 episodes, I got the breakthrough and finally I got hold of person who is president of biggest league in Canada. He is also known as most powerful man of cricket in Canada, Mr. Mohammad Rashid Sheikh, and with him, joining him is second in command, Mr. Farhan Khan. So let's go and talk to them. Welcome, Mr. Mohammad and Mr. Farhan. Welcome to the show. I'm very happy to have you both here.
Thank you.
So let's start, and let's come to the point where you started as administrator, right? So tell me how it feels to be a TDCA president.
It is totally prestigious to be TDCA president. As we can say that we're one of the largest leagues around.
Correct.
We have a good, vibrant junior program. We've been in existence for over 75 years. I only consider myself the safekeeper. If people before me hadn't started it and brought it this way, it's easy to keep things going. It's hard to start things. So no, it's totally an honor and prestige to serve in this position.
When did you started in a TDCA, and you started from right from bottom to up, or you just straight up went as and become a president?
So a little bit of history. When I was around 18, I played actually junior cricket in TND.
TND.
It was really good. I played for a couple of teams. And then the funny thing is, after junior cricket, I just kind of stopped playing. And then one day, a bunch of friends were sitting around having a conversation. I said, hey, you guys want to start a team? So they're like, okay, good idea, Mohammed. So I started calling around the local leagues, EDCL at the time, Commonwealth, TND, and we got connection with Commonwealth League. And I put a team there to start with. And when I was there the first year, I attended the AGM and I was speaking a little bit. So they, right after the AGM, they had appointed positions of registrar and statistician. Those weren't elected, they were appointed. So they said, hey, Mohammed, can you help us out? Would you do these for us? I said, sure. So I took on those positions and tried to bring some openness to it. There wasn't the age of websites and emails as much. So we had they had a little clubhouse.
This was year?
I would say 15 years ago, or 15 at least.
Okay.
It was quite a while ago.
Yeah.
In those days, we didn't have any, right? So there was a clubhouse that league had. So every week I would go and post the standings there, and they were quite impressed that, wow, you know, we're actually seeing this rather than at the end of the year trying to wonder. And then it was only a couple of years where they asked me to become president of Commonwealth. So I became president of Commonwealth when that, you know, brought the team up from.
And Commonwealth was a club.
It was a team, Commonwealth Cricket Association. It does not exist anymore.
Okay.
And I helped to bring that team up from about 18 teams to about 30 teams.
Yeah.
And then TND was in need of a scheduler, and I had helped in implementing Cricket Star websites, which a while back almost all the leagues used to use. So then I was asked to put up my name for election in TND for scheduler. But you might ask the question later, but TND elects 12 board members. Then within the board members, they elect the positions. So we're pretty much elected as equals. So I was elected to the board and made the scheduler. So for a few years, I spent time as scheduler, got to learn the ropes and so on. And then some change came about, and then they asked if I would be willing to go for president. So I ran for election again for board, and then I was made through the board members, 12 of them, elected the chairman.
No, see, why I ask you this question, because it is very good to know that you started right from the bottom and learn tricks of the things, right?
Yes.
Before you coming and assuming as the highest position, because most of the time I've seen that people just go and sit there and they do not have any idea of the grassroots or how the cricket is being played. So you started as playing as a cricket, then you develop a team, and then you worked in the board as a scheduler or statistician.
Yeah.
So that's very good to know.
Right.
So what is your story, Farhan? How you look very young. It doesn't mean that Mohammed doesn't look young. He also looks very young. But how come you came into this whole TDCA stuff?
My story is pretty similar to Mohammed, except that I'm not the president. I started.
But you are a vice president, right?
Yes, I am. I am. And about 10 years ago, I played cricket all my life to begin with, much like most of the guys, pretty passionate about the game. And pretty much like Mohammed, there were a couple of teams, friends teams that I was managing, because I've always been doing the management side of things. So running a club, helping out, and one fine day, one of the gentlemen, I think that's what happens when people see the kind of work that you do. So long story short, somebody offered that we need help on T&D. That's when I met Mohammed. And from an occupational perspective, I'm an IT consultant, so a lot of note taking and stuff, and it attracts me in communication and all that. So, and in those days, we were in a situation where T&D actually needed a lot of help, because a lot of things were happening in the political scene. So in summary, that was a good time, a good opportunity as well to join a wonderful team, and I joined as a secretary. Again, I was just through the process.
So you were also elected, and
absolutely.
Okay.
And then because of my strength, and I appreciated the portfolio because I was good at that, and I brought a little bit of email note taking and presenting the notes right away.
Minutes of meetings. And
absolutely, and they keep everyone in the loop. So everyone appreciated, and when you feel appreciated, you want to do even better. So about I was a secretary for about 4 or 5 years. Learned different parts of the system, helping wherever I could, but primarily with the minutes and whatnot. And of course, it's a community. It is an organization, but it is a community. That's how we run it. And we know the elders, if you will, very respectful. They have developed cricket. They support. And in the league, if there is something, of
conflicts
course, conflicts and all.
So conflict resolution also.
Absolutely, Mohammed comes into play. A lot of senior folks come into play, and I have also rose through the ranks to the point where now I help wherever I can. And that's been my journey. I'm really privileged.
I'm happy to know that both of you have started right from the bottom, and you have progressed well. But hold on that thought. We'll come back to that thought of conflict resolution, because that is the biggest, matter of gossip among the cricketing circle. But we'll come to that. That is a few controversy we'll talk later. But coming back to your vision, when you assume the presidency in TDCA, you must have noticed many bad things, very good things, few good things, but you must have also a vision, right? Because you look very reasonable and very ambitious, and very, your thought process is very clear, it seems to me. So did you have any plan for TDCA when you assumed the power 15 years or 10 years or 5 years back? And do you think that you have achieved everything what you have,
So, did I achieve everything? No. I wish I could say I did, but to be honest, no. See, what's lacking for cricket all over, and you're no stranger to that, is finance and money. We have what we say is one of the largest leagues around, and we have trouble attracting any major sponsorship. I mean, clubs get more sponsorship. We have smaller sponsorships, but I would say we have challenges in. It's not easy to go out and make challenges when you have a certain number of board members, and like you said, conflict resolution, making a schedule of over 1,500 games, making sure the grounds are ready for the season, and then continuous, if there might be club protests, club involvement. It kind of takes us away from that, where we need to really, my goal going forward though is really to try and set up a team exclusive to the board, or somebody we can either hire or ask to help us to gain some sort of finance and sponsorship. So when I came in, I would have hoped to have gotten some money to reduce the playing cost to the members. As far as trying to get some facility improvements and stuff, we did last year get some money from a Trillium grant. Trillium grants are not very easy to get, but we got money from a Trillium grant, and this was more specifically for King City.
So how much, if you can disclose?
Is 110,000 approximately. 110,000, and everybody might not know, but King City does not have any city water. It's well water,
Yeah.
right? And we had a well there that was 30 years old, and every year it would break down. And because we didn't have the Trillium grant and so on, we're spending most of our money continuously fixing it. When we got the Trillium grant, we got a brand new well, new motors. It's a big concrete hut that's been built. Some work was done to the parking lot. Again, what people might understand, it's on the Oak Ridges Moraine. There's limitations of what we can do. We can't even build a new pavilion. You can't build anything more than
Is it a city law? Or?
It's a city law because it's on the moraine and zoned recreational farming.
Yeah.
Parking lot, we cannot even pave it, even if we wanted to.
Yeah, I have
right?
seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, we cannot pave it. So, but what we are allowed to do is continuously make room. So this year we went and got the chips, the asphalt chips that we're allowed to, put those in, rolled it, and made that improvement. There's some lights in the parking lot, now, because I mean, when late in the season, early in the season, it does get dark and there's no light.
But one thing is very puzzling to puzzled me that when I see that King City for a very long period of time was the only center where I see international matches were done. Like Sahara Cup, if I'm not wrong, was done
No,
there.
Sahara Cup was done as Toronto Cricket Club.
Toronto, okay. So, but GT20 was done last year, right?
Yeah.
So, and you had some revenue from them, if I'm not
Yeah.
wrong. But still, the city and mayor or councillors, why they are not very enthusiastic about doing something for that stadium, to upgrade it? Maybe if the laws has to be changed, why can't we push them to get the things done? Because I've seen in Brampton, things are moving. Once the Brampton mayor is convinced, yes, this is the way to go. I think I have heard that they are ready to change the grass rules and they are putting up more lights on the stadium. So why can't we, in a TDCA perspective, we can change that?
King City, as much as it's private property, we're restricted in that. Like I said, we're allowed to build that temporary stadium, but no permanent structure can be built. It's not allowed, and it would require way too much to do that. City of Brampton, City of Mississauga, they're moving very well, but they've also got the residency of cricket playing. We're lucky that in Toronto, we still have a semi-regional, but a lot of our residency is outside. I mean, you can be working in the City of Toronto and still be considered residency. So those are some of the challenges we face. We are going to work with, tried to raise the topic a few times to at least get some lights on a couple of the grounds, like the Ross Lord ground or Eglinton Flats ground, so that we can play weekday T20 cricket. And we're talking to the city and we're telling them that lights are nothing. It's not nothing new. Baseball diamonds have lights.
Yeah.
Soccer stadiums have fields have lights.
So there
Why
has
not
been a
cricket?
continuous effort from the
There has
board
been
to
continuous effort.
communicate with the city
Yeah,
administration.
and like some of the things I was telling you about King City, it might not be visible to the eye, but these things cost money. They're done. Also the drainage. We did a full drainage. Apparently the weeping tiles were all crushed, so we had them dug. And now if anybody goes there, they'll see little drains all over.
It's done.
Which now can
Just
get rid of
last year.
things. And remember, it's sunken.
And it was not there last year? It was done this year? Or
It was done last year. That's why
Last
we
year.
had very little. Even the GT20, we had that one game only. That was a rain out, and that was due to a different reason.
Okay.
But it's also sunken ground, right? If
Yeah.
you see it, it's dipped down. So all the water,
Okay.
it's like a reservoir.
So if I have to
almost.
summarize that, when you assumed the presidency, your vision was to bring more corporate sponsorship and invest that money in the infrastructure.
And
Yeah.
again reduce the fees,
reduce the
cost to the teams.
Okay. And you think that not everything has been achieved, but some of them has been achieved.
We've made some improvements to the
Yeah.
grounds. We've obtained more facilities,
Yeah.
and
Okay. Fair
we
enough.
try and get the city to work with us to
Yeah.
better the grounds. But that's a challenge. I'll tell you
Okay.
right now.
With this, we come to the end of the first half. See you after the break.
Sweetener, Flavor All. 20 flavors to choose from. The perfect substitute for sugar and artificial sweeteners.
Flavor all by Greenish.
Flavor All from Greenish, now available at Rexall pharmacies.
I'm Nick Jakern of Nick Jakern Financial Solutions, Senior Investment Advisor and Director of Private Client Group
Nick Jacorin Financial Solutions is a full-service brokerage firm in Toronto, Ontario, and has been in business for more than 20 years, servicing and building lifelong relationships with his clients. Have peace of mind knowing that you're financially secure and stable. Nick Jacorin offers a range of financial services. To learn more, visit us at nickjacorinfinancialsolutions.com or contact us today at 416-412-4272.
Hello everyone, welcome back. As you know, we are talking to Mr. Mohammed and Farhan Khan. So let's start our conversation where we left. So we are talking about the constraint within which you guys work, right? Criticizing is a very easy job to do and raising question, but I understand there is also constraint and problem under which you guys work. And I'm sure you guys are not paid, right? So it is kind of a volunteer work you guys do.
Yes.
Yeah. But I would like to tell that I also don't take it, because if you have accepted a volunteer work, then understand the people will expect work to be done, right?
Totally.
I'm totally with you that you guys do your best, but if there is something, we always criticize.
Yes.
It is our duty to criticize.
It's not an excuse. Even though I'm a volunteer, I choose to be one. You didn't force me to be one.
I
so
agree.
it becomes a job,
Yeah,
unpaid job.
It becomes, yeah. So Farhan, coming to you, as you were saying that in the break, that there are a lot of problems you face, right? And you have learned how to go through it, right? So give us some of the example, how do you work within this constraint, right? Where the administration is not very helpful or choose not to be helpful, then how you overcome those issues within the season, during the season?
So I think one of the examples we were talking about is, you rightfully said, that this is also an opportunity for us to tell things that are not being told otherwise or not apparent to the naked eye.
Yeah.
So you asked a question about grass and why certain city administrations are not as helpful as the others, and Mohammed talked about the fact that they have the user base, if you will. Toronto is a very diverse city itself, and the demand for the grounds is way too much. And on top of that, those grounds are not specifically only for one sport. Rugby is also played there, soccer is also played there. So that comes into a little bit of a conflict with grass and management of that. The point I'm only trying to make is that our own people on the board and many passionate volunteers within the TDCA membership, they help maintain, especially Ross Lord, at times Sunnybrook as well, and of course King City all the time. These are the people who actually will be rolling the fields, cutting grass. Of course, in not all situations we can cut grass, but they have been able to establish really good relationships with park supervisors. And over the years we have been able to
coordinating with them.
Absolutely. And that is the work which unfortunately is not seen. And you're right, criticism is easy, not that we are shying away, but these are also the people who do a lot of work to make cricket happen.
So the point we would we are trying to bring forward is that yes, we have all the right to criticize administration for any fault or any problem we see there, but we have to also appreciate that there are few people or maybe more people who are working day in day out to let the cricket go. Absolutely. And we have to appreciate what is good. So going forward, for next question to you is that you also manage the corporate league, right?
Yes.
In TDCA. So tell me something about it. Is a subsidy of TDCA or how it is working in TDCA?
It is pretty much a child thought of TDCA. It's under the banner of TDCA. TDCA
and this was done by Mohammed, or
Mohammed has been a part of it from the very beginning.
He started founder member of corporate leagues?
He is.
Okay.
And he's been very much there from supporting, and I'll explain how. But essentially, we started this little tournament and building on Mohammed's thought about bringing in money at the end of the day to reduce the cost of membership. One way to do that is simply raise awareness and raise awareness with the people who can fund the game, corporates. Right. So many years ago, and I want to credit the people who were doing it. It was an idea which inspired us as well. So there were some games going on around informally, corporates coming together. That gave me an idea, because I work for EY and I'm also the captain of the EY team, and we played informally. I'm like, there is need for it. And like you were saying, you are your SAP consultant yourself. You don't necessarily want to play a 50-over game. But you would probably be interested in a 20-over game with a turnkey solution where you don't even have to worry about umpiring. We give you the best fields, literally a turnkey solution. that was the thought. That's when I discussed with Mohammed that, hey, there is this
you started it.
appetite.
Yeah.
And rest is history. We started with 4 teams. That was the
So-
first summer
Yeah. Okay.
in 20,
when it was started?
2012.
2012. So it is almost 7 years. This is 7th year.
Yes.
Very nice.
And we're
So
about
how
10
many
teams.
teams you started with, and today you grow up to how many teams?
We've gone from 4 to about 12.
4 to 12. That's
Yeah.
good.
And all of the
big corporates are
big
there.
corporates are there, the big names, and we keep it. We keep
So
it
you
contained.
interact with corporates as it seems to be. So are you getting any success to get the sponsorship for bigger tournament? Why I'm asking this, because you see, and I will come to this point to you, Mohammed, also, that yes, very good, TDCA is running and is one of the premier league in our country, and it is the biggest, I will say. But when I see the level of competition, I'm not very convinced about it, and I'll say why. I'll tell you why. But you know, any country who wants to grow in any game, tournament and competitive tournament is very important to bring the star out of that. If you do not have a star players, then I suspect you will never get a sponsorship. Because you see, there's a very simple game. You have a brand which you can develop, sponsorship, corporate will come, run after you. If you do not have anything to show, the competitiveness or the environment where you can grow, you will always struggle. So that's what I'm asking, that are you working both sides, or you are just going for corporate sponsorship?
I'll let Mohammed answer the other side. I'll talk about the corporate because I have more insight into it, but I will preface it by saying that TND is, under the circumstances and given the constraints, the most competitive league. We'll expand on that. On the corporate side, yes, it is a work in progress very much, and that there are a number of reasons. This is not a cricket playing nation in that way. We are getting there, right? Like any immigrant sport. And when I talk internally to the firm, they of course, and you would know that we are all professionals. When you go for a sponsorship case to be made about any event, they ask about the impact to the organization funding. And unfortunately, we are getting to that critical mass. We are not quite there yet where I can say, Mr. Partner, give me $50,000 or whatever it is, and I will have about 10,000 people attending, or 3,000 people attending, like a Maple Leaf game or a Blue Jays game, or even if not first tier but second tier. Not there yet, but GT20 did a wonderful job. I can just give you a quick comparison between 2011 and now. Likes of Scotiabank, likes of having at least a conversation with CIBCs of the world, going to the EY partners, that's where I work, I can talk about that, going to them and them knowing cricket and appreciating it in internal newsletters, our own team roster going from about 15 people to now about 75 people. Those are good things.
So it is very interesting that you work for ENY, and I hope this is not conflict of interest. But why don't you invite ENY to do a research and advise the people how to improve the situation of cricket in Canada? I think ENY must be very happy to do it for us.
You raise a very good point, and actually Cricket Canada, Mohammed can speak to that better, but a number of years ago I remember, because Deloitte is a competitor as well, but on the field we are friends. Deloitte actually did some strategic work for Cricket Canada.
And what was the report outcome?
I'm not privy to that.
Okay, next time, and I will expect and I will request both of you that when you have some blueprints, communicate to the community, right? So through your website, tell us that what you are planning, because when I look at your website, I didn't find any much about these things, right, which I am looking for. And you don't need to do anything which you want to keep private, that's fine, but whatever you can do it, what your future plans are, so that teams are also looking forward, because they are very, few teams are playing for fun, but there are many players who are playing for their career. They have a dream, right? So when they expect more from TDCA. So I think that you have to understand their expectation and do accordingly, right? I am not saying that you don't do it, but there is always chance of improvement.
And you make a very valid point. I'm not going to play. At least I'm not going to play for Canada. I think Farhan.
I also realized 3 years back.
Farhan has finally given up his hope. Until last year, he thought he was going to make it.
No, 3 years back also I realized that I cannot play.
But no, we understand. Like we don't want to lose that title of the Premier League, right? And it's important. We have a fantastic facility like King City, which we can do whatever we want there. The city grounds were limited, but King City, we can have no grass if we want, right? So we don't want to lose that title. We want the players to always want to play in T&D. We want Cricket Ontario, Cricket Canada to know that this is where they can come for players. I'll just make one small point on the sponsorship and some of the challenge. See, we run a league of over 1,500 games, 4-month season almost. We have to incorporate some smaller tournaments within, maybe on long weekends, because I did realize in some of my research that people are not willing to sponsor a whole league over a thing. They want a short period where they can just blast out their message of their product. And so we have tried on a few occasions where we want to do like a long weekend tournament. But let me tell you, like you said, people look at T&D for serious cricket. If they want to go have some fun, have a few beers after the game, T&D is not the place. They don't do it there. If you come to T&D, there's very few teams that come for the social aspect. They come to play hard cricket. Right?
I know.
Right? Therefore, like in T&D, even 20 over cricket, T&D wants to play 50 over cricket. They don't want to play 20 over cricket, right? So those are some of the matters.
Now let's talk about my favorite topic. That, and you know why I'm bring this grassroots level cricket is that we have to popularize the cricket, right, among our kids. Unless they pick up, you don't get a new talent, right? So I'm very interested to know that what is your blueprint, or what have been you working for last 4 years, 5 years to bring more kids into this game? What is your grassroots level plan?
So, as you know, T&D has, I'm not going to hide it, I'm almost 49. And if I played cricket when I was 18, and well before that, junior cricket was there in T&D. So at least for the last 30 years, for sure, guaranteed it's been going on. So T&D has its junior program where in the morning, we allow the kids to play, right? The league.
Morning from
8 a.m., 9 a.m. to 12.
And during the weekend or the
weekends?
Weekend.
During the weekends, the morning slots mostly are reserved for junior cricket. Hence why we don't promote too much T20 or T25. If we did that in the morning, then we wouldn't have any place for the kids to play.
So how you go to the schools and invite them to come and play, or?
We don't, because first of all, we're off season. We start mid-May when schools are almost done, right? And we finish in September when schools start. So I think Cricket Ontario, Cricket Canada, they go to the schools and we will welcome any of the players that come. So we have a junior league starting at the level of under 12, 15, 17, 19, where we offer them a schedule. We started many years ago charging 0 fee for junior cricket. Then we had to increase to 250, then to 500, and now it's up to 750, only because the grounds cost $60 an hour, and the city says they call them premier grounds and they won't discount it. If there's a bit of a substandard ground like Flemington Park or Caledonia.
So I give you a hypothetical circumstances, and I see that everything looks good. City council and city administration is now cooperating with you guys. They say, okay, we are not going to charge for that. So do you think that if TDCA or Cricket Canada goes to every school of Toronto district and welcome them or show them what is cricket is all about, educate them, or maybe make it sponsor recess for kids, like if you want to play cricket, come, we'll show how to play cricket. Even indoor is fine. During off season also you can promote cricket, because in the longer run it will benefit all of you. Like, you know, more players, more good players, better for everyone. So I think, and the talent resides there. I have seen in the recent tournament where I went, some of the girls were hitting the ball like pro, and I was surprised to see, and they were, you know, they were not from the Indian community, they were from other community.
But Devesh,
so there is a talent. The only thing is how do we tap that?
What you will be surprised, you might already know, is the amount of teachers that know nothing about cricket and that will call either us or Cricket Ontario and say, look, I got all these kids here that want to play cricket. I want to learn because I want them to play. There's nobody else in that school that knows. And this gym teacher or somebody is taking that initiative. And Cricket Ontario and Cricket, you know, again, we're a local league. We're a membership fee-based league.
I know.
We can only do so much for that. But anytime a call comes to us, if we cannot help, we surely forward that contact.
I know you are also board member of Cricket Canada, right? So from that perspective, you can push. these kind
Cricket
of campaigns.
Canada and Ontario has
Yeah.
once you can bring somebody on here from one of those organizations, and they can further elaborate.
Yeah.
But they do have a very vibrant school program going.
Please invite me, and I will like to see that what all campaign is going, because I need to understand what are different campaigns are there
Right.
to promote cricket in Canada
Yeah.
at the grassroots level, because I know there is athleticism and there is a talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just need to tap that
Yeah.
and bring it forward, because that will give us a hero
Of course.
and a brand.
Yeah.
Unless there is a brand, there is no crowd, there is no sponsorship.
Yeah.
And just to quickly add to what Mohammed said, and you make a valid point again, I think this channel, this media outlet will help us probably get the message out there. As far as T&D is concerned, directly and indirectly we are helping. We are doing something that you kind of asked for or implied. Many of our clubs, especially the well-established clubs in Mississauga and in Markham region, they are very active in schools directly. Because they have built some really good repo. I personally, for example, in different capacities, because somebody knows me and has seen my work, has invited me to, just show or help. Because there are certain requirements to appear in a school. You can't just appear in a school. You have to be an NCCP certified, which I am. So you have to be coach, depending upon number of different reasons. Ontario laws. Point is, and much of our membership has been active. And we know our go-to people in different clubs who are actively doing this. And you will see the most in Mississauga, followed closely by Brampton and Markham, because these are the places where and then some of our members are also very active in the college community, for example, which we very much support, free of cost. And you probably may have heard of, the girl that you're talking about. I went to a similar tournament. And I was pleasantly surprised to see that much of the cricket playing players from Wilfrid Laurier, for example, they were not Southeast Asians, they were not West Indians, they were actually Canadians.
So this is the good news, and that's what I am bothered about, and I always think about it. And next time if you have such programs, campaign going on, please call us, we'll like to cover it.
For sure.
And we are always there to promote cricket. So that's the message I want to give. So let's now come to our end of the program, and I want to bring more controversy here.
No problem.
And I hope you don't mind it.
No.
Okay, so let's start it. So there are allegations, and I have also played one time TDCA, but this is not my personal experience. I am just voicing the concern of the other team members or team. They say the standard of umpiring is a major concern for players there. They are not up to standard. So what are the process you follow to appoint are they ICC approved umpires, or they have certain standards you check for, or you just take it from some contractor and you say, okay, go and umpire?
Okay, so we have the Toronto Cricket Umpires and Scores Association, which is an affiliate body of TDCA. They have been for many, many years. They conduct regular education classes once a month.
But are those ICC approved courses, or
So
just
yes, we try and play our rules as close to ICC as possible. Whenever an ICC rule changes, we try and implement it, minus the 2 balls. It's hard enough to afford 1 ball, let alone having a ball change. But stuff like that. So it is based on ICC. But Devesh, you have to understand that in any given day in Toronto, you can need up to 100 plus umpires.
Okay, fair enough.
If you're talking all the grounds in Brampton, Mississauga, and all the games partake on weekends, so you're going to.
So there is a short of supply.
You're going to lack some of that. Quality, unfortunately. But as far as working with so Cricket Canada has its levels of CCA level 1, 2, 3,
3, 4.
and they're affiliated to the ICC umpiring bodies and so on. So they have their testing
going on,
ruling, and then they also have practical testing. People from West Indies Cricket Umpires Association, they have 2 guys, I think. They umpire regularly here, so they'll be the assessors. They'll do a game with one of these umpires before they get this qualification. They got to do the written exam and they got to do the thing. But again, like I said, if we need, and umpires get paid. Some league might pay $5 more, some league might pay $10 more, some might be closer to their house, so they choose where they go, right?
So on the average, how many games they supervise, like for a season? One umpire average?
Well, the max is 32.
32, okay.
Right? Because
because there is a limit to which
that's how many playing days there are, right? So let's say if he gets every single day.
There is 1,500 games, right? So So on average,
That's
maybe
junior,
in the
senior,
season
40,
30, 40,
30, 40 games, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, and 120 they are getting for one game.
approximately. Yeah, depends on the
So
division.
5,000, 600,000 bucks is there for 2 months.
If
Not
they
bad.
if they do every single game.
So if you are you want to become an umpire, this is a good news for you. There is a shortage of umpires. Become an umpire and contact Mr. Mohammed.
Or the Toronto Cricket
Toronto
Umpire Sports
Cricket, yes,
Association.
yes. And there is an
TCUSA.
opportunity to earn some money, but you should be a quality umpire.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you accept there is a problem in
So-
shortage. Yeah.
What the average player wants is a good ground, a good umpire, no rain. They don't ask. I'll be honest, members, you're not very demanding. Give me a good ground, give me a decent umpire. Don't spoil my day by giving me out, bad out, and now I'm going to stand
Oh,
there for
yeah,
50
yeah.
overs, right?
Yeah.
And that's what, honestly,
Yeah,
it's
no,
simple.
no.
That's what they
Yeah,
want.
yeah, yeah.
And that's what we try to
Yeah,
provide.
this is the minimum they should
Yeah.
expect. Yeah, I agree with that.
And if I may add, you raise a good point, but Devesh, tell me the last time you saw a player getting an LBW and he did not.
He's not
hit.
happy or he's happy.
So,
no,
and I make a-
beside that, if some of the bad umpiring becomes very obvious. Like if you see if you're watching IPL, everything is fine. The moment they do some blunder, it is quite obvious. Then you say, oh, the quality of umpire is bad. So that's if it is coming
They're
more
under the
often than
wall.
not, then you will say, okay, there is some problem. And
Right.
I hope that you understand. I'm very happy that you accepted that there is a shortage of umpire.
There is.
And hope you guys are working on it. And
At
in
the
near
same
future,
time, I
yeah.
would like to tell you that these are the things that we can't really publish.
Yeah, yeah.
Mr. Hariharan, he has umpired tests in India. He was umpiring with us. He has been umpiring with us for a couple of years now. And on the highest level, he said, I'm very happy to see the umpiring standards. 3 of our main panels, most of them are actually regularly umpiring in the West Indies. Bridge Kumar, Mike Henry.
Yeah.
These are ICC panel umpires.
And they are from Canada, right?
They are from Canada. So my point is that on the top level, who are also administering this, because we work very closely with TCUSA, and anytime, by the way, we get feedback, we do conduct towards the end of the season, hey, what are the kind of the rankings, and there is active feedback. So we do that. But like I said, one way to look at how we are doing is also having introspection from an external perspective. So when West Indian umpires come, Indian umpires come, and these are top level umpires, we have much to learn from them. And when they tell us that, yes, here are some of the things that you can do better, for sure, but here are some things that you are doing good too. And that tells us that we are doing something all right.
Yeah, nevertheless, but we have a problem that we need to fix it.
Absolutely.
So hopefully we are working on it. So the next allegation, which is quality of balls, which they say sometime they have to buy 2 balls, the 1 ball is not. So are you guys taking responsibility, or are you determining that, okay, this is the brand and this is the place you have to buy it, or you say it is open, go and buy it. This is the standard, minimum standard, you have to maintain it. Because my perspective, if I am a president, I will say, okay, this is the minimum standard, you want to maintain it. Whatever, wherever you want to buy it, but you have to maintain this standard. So are you doing this, or are you going beyond that and say, okay, you have to buy this brand?
Okay, so what we do is we sanction a specific ball. We don't want it to be a free-for-all where you can use a Dukes and you can use an SG and you can use a Kookaburra. So let's say first division, we sanction a Grays ball. There's only certain distributors that supply the Grays ball. If you can get it from somewhere else,
You buy
we
it.
sanction the Grays ball.
Yeah.
You can buy it wherever you want.
Okay.
If we know a known distributor, we will advertise Devesh sells Grays balls. Farhan sells Grays balls.
And nothing wrong in that if you are getting a sponsorship for that.
Yeah,
but
so we're
it's
getting
okay.
we're getting a small amount because let's face it, for a ball supplier who might be selling 500 balls, if I'm going to ask him for $5,000, he's only going to increase the price of the ball, right? And the purpose of us shopping around for balls is not only for the sponsorship, because that's not very substantial. It's to try and lower the costs to the membership. I mean, Kookaburra balls, most people will prefer it, but this year it might come up to $90 for a ball. So let's just round it up to $100. $100 for the ball, $120 for the umpire, and the league fees, right? So we're trying to find quality balls at a lower price. So
No, but if you see, I agree with you, but the thing is that if you are subscribing a certain ball at your Premier League,
Yeah.
and it should be, because you know that these guys are going to play and represent Canada,
Yeah.
and they are going to meet the international standard.
Right.
So whatever international standard approve, you need to approve that ball in your Premier League. But kids and all those smaller groups, maybe you can say, okay, fine, we can have a less quality or maybe less cheaper ball, because that is not necessary to have a Kookaburra ball, right?
So that's how it is.
Yeah, it should be.
Elite,
Okay.
Super 9, Elite in Premier, utilize a Kookaburra ball.
Okay. But you don't subscribe that you have to buy it from there, right?
Well, right now there's only one supplier for Kookaburra.
Okay.
There's only one authorized supplier.
And
but
who
if
is that?
there's Yashi Sports,
Yes,
he's the authorized Canadian distributor
Okay.
for Kookaburra.
Okay.
So, like I said, if anybody else is selling it, I know Badesi Sports, I don't know how they used to be in Scarborough. If they have it, we don't. We sanction the ball,
Okay.
not where you have to
You
buy
just
it.
said, okay, this is the
Not where you
this
have
is
to
the
buy
ball
it.
unit. Okay.
And the reason we reduced the other divisions, because our divisions are 40 over now, right? So
Okay.
that's it.
Okay, very good. So one more issue, and then we'll go for lighter question. I heard that conflict resolution, right? So there are a lot of time that one party complains that this party way more because they have more teams in the league, and that's why they have a weightage. So administrator always give decision in the favor of the stronger team. Is it true, or what do you think?
So, okay, so what I would like to tell you is I'm thankful that there's very few dispute, honestly, nowadays. When there's no weightage. Devesh, there's always a winner and a loser, right? Like I've always said that if I today rule in your favor, I am the best board there is. And the very next day, if the ruling has to be against you, all of a sudden it's a bad board.
Why I ask you a question, because one of the very strong message going around is that one of the club was defaulter in terms of money.
Okay.
And they changed the name and they become a new team, and you still allow them to continue. Is it true, or you think it is a mere speculation? No, you'd like to diffuse,
I have
refuse
no recollection of that, and I think Farhan will
Neither do
tell
I.
you the same.
Okay, so it is all
It is. I mean, we work with clubs that have outstanding dues. We work with everybody.
Okay.
We're here to promote cricket, not to drop the hammer on anybody.
Yeah.
There was defaulting clubs, but
Yeah.
we worked out payment plans with them, made sure they fulfill the payment plans, and instead of losing $5,000 or $10,000,
Yeah.
we have helped those clubs to continually
Continue.
exist,
Okay.
and the league not losing any money where they brought their balance up. But now, if you close down a club and then tomorrow your players disperse, we're not gonna we could say the balance was $1,000, there's 20 of you, I'm going to divide it. But I don't know that you didn't pay the owner. So we don't want to punish the players. But there's no club that defaulted and just come tomorrow. We used to allow 3 payments. Back in the day, the city of Toronto used to allow us 3 payments.
Okay.
Now city of Toronto says,
Upfront.
Upfront.
Okay.
So now
Everything
we tell the
advance.
clubs up front. So there's little opportunity for them to default, because if they paid up front, where are they going to default? That means they paid their fees.
Okay. So just let me complete one more, and then we'll go for the lighter question. So I've heard that is it okay to be in a board members and also own a club? Because I have heard that a lot of people in your board has also running a club, and which is for me is a conflict of interest. Is it true, or?
Yeah, it's actually a member-run league. Members nominate people for the board, and then the members elect the board. There is no rule, because it would be hard to find people maybe that are not involved in cricket that would want to run a league of certain size, right? So no, board members are
Involved in the
either
team management?
playing members, some owners, some team management, some higher up. But if that members club is involved, they're respectfully asked not to participate in any decision making,
Yes.
and they do. They understand that. They do. I mean, perception is going to be there.
But don't you think that you should have an arbitrary committee kind of thing which has nothing to do with this club? Let them have a club, being a board member, fine. But if there is a conflict, that should go to a conflict resolutions committee, which has no connection with these people. Because normally, these are the things which unnecessarily creates a problem, right? And it's speculation. So it is my advice.
No, I'll take it.
Yeah.
It is
Create a-
actually already
Yeah.
in the works. It's been
Thank you.
discussed and suggested before. We
Yeah.
recently had a dispute, but internal within a club. Two clubs that had joined each other.
Okay.
They had a dispute.
Yeah.
We got a third party. We
Okay.
made them sign arbitration.
Okay.
We got a third party to deal with it. Everybody stayed away.
So it was great talking to both of you, but I want to also know personally something
Yeah.
about you. And both of you looks to be from subcontinent, right? Indian subcontinent.
I'm from
if I'm
India,
not wrong.
yeah.
You are from India, you?
Pakistan,
Pakistan. Which part of Pakistan?
Lahore, Punjab.
Lahore. So tell me, what is your favorite movie? And I ask this question to every
Hands down,
guest.
Rocky.
Rocky.
Sylvester Stallone, Rocky.
Wow. So Hollywood. No Bollywood movie?
No, I'm
Your?
Go with Bollywood, and it's DDLJ.
DDLJ. So Shahrukh Khan is your favorite?
Not necessarily,
Okay,
but the
but you
movie
like-
was really good.
okay. And your?
I'm so out of Bollywood too. I don't even know what DDLJ is. What is DDLJ?
Dilwale Dulhaniya Le
Okay. Yeah, I watch Bollywood. I will watch it here and there, but not regularly. But Rocky's from 1976.
Yeah, it was.
But
That was amazing.
I
Any
can
reason
still
why
watch
you
it
like
every
that
day.
movie? Because it's a motivational?
it's motivational.
Okay.
I can watch it every
Oh.
week and not
Yeah.
get bored of it.
Okay. So your wife also like it, or you?
She'll sit and watch with it. She
Okay.
likes Bollywood, but again,
Yeah.
don't have that much time
Okay.
to go out. I mean, don't bring my wife up here.
Your favorite food? Any cuisine you like, or? Because why I'm asking this question so that members should know it. Your club should know it. All the teams, and next time they can bring it for you.
You know, food has its trends, and lately
Yeah.
I've taken a liking to sushi. Those all-you-can-eat sushi bars. They have different variety and
You,
stuff.
your?
Actually, same sushi.
Okay, very good, very good. So thank you very much, both of you. It was great talking both of you. There were many questions which were clarified and very gracefully. Thanks for.
Hopefully, you'll have us back mid-season, and maybe we can.
Give you an
Maybe
update.
we can like
Yeah.
we're not here to hide anything. Maybe you can drill us and say you said this.
Yeah, yeah.
You said
Yeah,
this. Did
yeah.
you?
Thanks
make
for
any
setting that
improvement?
expectation.
Yeah.
And we'll meet again after
Yeah.
the end of this season, and we'll see where we go from there. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Farhan.
Thank you.
So this was where you see that two of the stalwart of cricket administration was sitting with me, and I'm very happy that they came to my program and clarify many allegations and the rumors. So see you next time in Straight Bat with Devesh. Thank you.
This might be out. Taken comfortably. That's a good catch in the deep. 1 run needed. This might run away to the boundary.